Hi, my name is Kelsey and today we're going to be talking about 5 things that I wish I knew before I moved to Thailand. And I've been here for a little while now and there are a few things that I just didn't expect. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing that I want to talk about is the kindness of people. And it's not like a general kindness. You can tell that it's a cultural thing, that people are going out of their way to make you feel comfortable and to make you feel like you can enjoy your stay here. I personally believe that it has something to do with good karma. So whoever does good things for other people will get good things in return. And it seems to be a very important topic over here. You can actually tell from the way that people are interacting with each other and with the tourism as well. They don't make you feel like you're a foreigner. They are actually trying to make you feel as much part of the community as they possibly can. And that's a big difference from the things that I've seen in other countries. And I think for the people who have been to other countries, you will find that a big difference as well. But it's a good thing. So yeah, it's something that I wish I knew beforehand because I was quite scared coming here. I was like, okay, am I going to be culture shocked? And of course it's some kind of a culture shock, but it's not nearly as bad as I expected it to be. The second thing I wish I knew about, at least a little bit more than what I did, is bargaining. It's like the hustling game over here. I thought my hustling skills, my bargaining skills were kind of decent, but I've been proven wrong time and time again. And of course I don't want you to be doing the same thing. I would highly recommend looking into it and looking into like local prices over here, because I thought that I was making good deals, but then I started talking to locals about it and it turns out I got a foreigner deal. And I mean, I would have done the same, I can't blame them. But the bargaining is really like some kind of a game over here. It's always being done with a smile, and that's a big plus. It's not like super harsh or anything, but keep smiling, keep laughing with the people that you're bargaining with, and you will come to a much better price, I promise you. But please look into it, because for a short stay it might not make that much of a difference. But if you're staying here for months and months on end, you're going to be feeling it in your wallet. And there's nothing wrong with supporting the local economy, of course. I mean, we should do that. They've been having a really hard time with COVID and stuff. But still, it's worth looking into it, so I would highly recommend you doing that. I wish I knew about the different kinds of transportation beforehand and the different ways to get transportation whenever you need it. Because of course you can walk onto the streets and you will find a taxi, you will find a tuk-tuk, and they will happily bring you anywhere. But again, you will need to negotiate. So what I would recommend in that case is install the Grab app, install the Bolt app, and install the InDrive app, and they will give you an estimate on how much one ride will be to a certain place. And even if you don't use the app to get transportation, it's an easy tool to use in terms of negotiating with people on the streets, because they will always ask a higher price than necessary. But once you can prove that you can get the same ride but for a cheaper price, they are more likely to give into it a little bit. And again, always do that with a smile as well. The Bolt and the Grab app, I want to go into that for a little bit. They allow you to set a certain time that you want to be picked up, so that might be really convenient. If you got an appointment somewhere, or if you got an itinerary which you don't want to be late for, you can just set the date and the time in it beforehand. As for the InDrive app, it's very cheap. It's much cheaper than the other ones, but the InDrive app doesn't allow you to tell a time. So it allows you to find a taxi, but once that taxi gave you an offer and you accept the offer, they'll be there in a couple of minutes or maybe 10 minutes. It depends on how busy it is, so keep that in mind. But if you don't really have a set itinerary, I would highly recommend using the InDrive app. It might take you a bit longer to find a driver, but it's much cheaper and it's well worth it. You've got the money to spare. I mean, go for the tuk-tuk. The people are so nice, you can negotiate. They've got the craziest tuk-tuks here that you can ever imagine. So I highly recommend at least trying that once. And of course, if you're really in need for a taxi, you can also always ask your hotel or your Airbnb to arrange one. Keep in mind that it's always a fixed price. So for example, a drive to Patong is easily 500 baht when I ask my hotel. But when I get to the InDrive app, it will vary between 150 to 200 baht. So that would save me 300 baht. It's worth looking into it and figuring out what's worth for you. The fourth thing that I wish I knew beforehand, and I can't stretch this enough, is traffic. For example, we knew beforehand that we were going to rent a motorcycle or a scooter, however you want to call it, and go ahead and explore on our own. The thing for us was we arrived in rainy season, like late rainy season, and it's fine. But as high season is coming up, you can tell that traffic is just getting crazy. It's so busy on the road, and for some reason, like the traffic indications, like the traffic signs, they don't seem to mean a thing over here. So at the same road, you'll find people driving 100, maybe 120 kilometers per hour, but also people who are driving 30 kilometers per hour. So keep that in mind. Traffic can get absolutely crazy, and if you're not confident enough in your ability to drive and navigate around the island, I would highly recommend just using a tuk-tuk or a taxi. You can easily buy someone out for the day. It's no problem, but if you're not confident enough, don't do it. Like most people who get injured here, get injured because of traffic accidents. And it's kind of logical as well. But yeah, if you do decide to get your own transportation, be very careful and don't overthink it. Because once you're overthinking it, there's no way you can make any sense out of the traffic anyway. So just do your thing, be careful and look around you and you'll be fine, believe me. It took me a little bit, but now I'm driving around as well. And yeah, it is getting busier, and if it's too busy, I just drop off my scooter and I'll take a taxi. The fifth thing I wish I knew before going to Thailand is something that might be more applicable to you if you're here for just a holiday or for just a short amount of time. But that's rainy season. I have never seen this much rain in my entire life, and it might be ignorant for me not to have known that. But there's been multiple occasions where the weather was lovely and I was driving around, and all of a sudden it poured down with rain, and to that extent that you can't see anything. So I had to pull my scooter to the side and just stop and wait for it to stop raining. Because, well, accidents happen, of course, but if you can't see anything and people are driving like a madman as well, it's just not worth it. For if you're staying for a longer period of time, I would highly recommend just buying a raincoat or something like that, because you will need it when you're staying in rainy season. But at the same time, you can see people online asking about the weather and whether they should cancel their holiday or cancel their vacation. And I would personally advise not to, just because there are so many things to see and do even when it's rainy season. And the plus side of rainy season is that there are little to no tourists, so it's much easier to see everything you want to see. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is well, traveling around. I mean, if you can't see anything and you don't know the roads, don't risk it. Take a taxi, they're used to it. And yeah, there are floods, but well, it doesn't really keep you from having fun, does it? So yeah, I wouldn't cancel your holiday by any means. And if you're staying for a longer period of time, it doesn't really matter. Take rainy season and try and find your way around the island. So when traffic gets crazy, you'll know where you're going and you know which roads to take, and it will take a whole lot of stress off you. These are 5 things that I wish I knew before going to Thailand, and I hope it helped you a little bit. If you like this kind of content or you found it helpful, please don't forget to like the video, and I will highly appreciate it if you subscribe as well. Kapkunka for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.